Would you want a 30-year-old man having a picture of you in your underwear, whether it was Onision or not? And think about that for a second. Would you want me to have a picture of you in your underwear? I'm not Onision, okay? But the critical point here is that I don't have this narrative constructed around me that says that everything I'm doing is about body positivity and that all these people are just haters. You wouldn't. You don't trust me, and with good reason. But you shouldn't give that trust to Onision just because he sounds intelligent, just because he's got 2 million subscribers on his channel on YouTube, just because he's telling a narrative, he's telling a story that he is about body positivity. Because he doesn't have facts backing him up, really. He doesn't have a well thought out argument. He's going off the top of his head and coming up with these outlandish statements to make other people's criticisms of what he's doing seem crazy. But he doesn't have a well-reasoned argument. He doesn't have a leg to stand on in terms of defense of himself. And there's been a lot of critical analysis of what it is he's doing on YouTube from other YouTubers that are far more popular than I. Go check them out. Go look at them. And think critically about what it is he is doing. Don't just laugh it off. Because it could be a lot more serious than him just being some creep ass, than him just being some sexist, or him just being bluntly honest, or being a comedian, or being a jokester, or oh, this is just Onision, that's the way he is. You know, that's how abusers get away with what they're doing. They don't get away with what they're doing because it's obvious. You know, cartoons show us that. Cartoons show us the abuser that is just obviously an abuser. But that's not what they look like in real life. In real life, they're very, very good at hiding it. They're very, very good, very intelligent. And, you know, be wary. Whether it's Onision or anybody else. Manipulation and things like gaslighting can happen all over the place. And they're not necessarily illegal. That's why they're so effective, because they're so difficult to put into words. They're so difficult to iron out. And laws are very specific. They have to be. They have to be very specific. They have to be something that can be read and can be interpreted the same way over and over again. Otherwise, they just don't work. Otherwise, they can be manipulated themselves. The laws can be used in ways that they were never intended to be used if they're not very specific and they're not very clear. And something like gaslighting and these kind of manipulative tactics are deliberately in that gray area. And I think the concern here that a lot of people are having about him and these videos is that he's treading in a gray area, a very gray area. And his defense particularly reminds me of gaslighting. Reminds me of someone trying to suggest that everybody criticizing him is just crazy and that he's doing nothing wrong. Now, maybe it would be different if I saw some scruples, you know, if I saw him showing genuine regret, showing genuine concern for people's criticism, because that would be the sign of someone who entertained the thought, just for a moment, that other people might be genuinely concerned that he's doing something other than what he is showing everyone. You know, and that's not unreasonable. If I were in Onision's position, and I had the father of some young girl telling me that they were upset, or if I had learned some of the stuff that I saw that was said about what he was doing, I'd address it. I wouldn't tell everybody that they're crazy. I would second guess myself, like a human being without an ulterior motive, a human being without something to hide. I wouldn't tell everybody else that they're crazy and try to compare them to stuffing tomatoes up their butt or whatever. No, they're legitimate concerns. There have been other YouTubers who've been caught with kiddie porn, okay? There are manipulative people in the world. There are weirdos, genuine weirdos and creeps, and people doing wrong things. And to act like everyone else is crazy and I'm just doing this great thing for people, when there is a big, big space and a big reason to be concerned, and the people expressing their concern, multiple people expressing their concern, and to just pretend as though it's all for naught is suspicious, to say the least. And it reminds me of gaslighting. So there's my piece. That's all I've got to say. I hope this wasn't too long or too boring or too serious. And that's that. So I'm gonna call this video here. Thank you for watching. I hope it wasn't too stark or too scary. But that's just my thoughts. That's genuinely why I'm concerned and bothered by what it is he's doing. So, bye-bye. See you in another video, hopefully.